Hello guys. Welcome to Top Anime Sensei. This video is the Part 7 of Chapter 1 Volume 10, The Smooth Operation of Labyrinth. So if you have not watched the previous parts, then please go check them. The links are in the description. And if you like the video, please subscribe and press the bell icon for more updates. So without any further delay, let's start. Because our customers were using totally valid ways of progressing, if we were to use unethical tricks to interfere, it would seem to be unfair. This was not a war, nor some competition. You are sure that the spirits are not being forced into service, right? No, they aren't. It's evidence that the spirits like them if they are able to build such a trustworthy relationship with them. If that's the case, then we shouldn't interfere. I dislike the idea. Right, I half guessed that Rimuru would say so. Ramirez compromised immediately. While she did propose it, she likely didn't want to do it either. Indeed, lying is no good. But Ramirez, how about you create a zone without any spirit? That spirit communication thing, isn't it used to hear what the local spirits have to say? Would it therefore be rendered useless if there aren't any spirits to begin with? Oh, this surprising response came from Veldora. He's usually very useless, and to think he's come up with such clever words. Rimuru, what's with your surprised look? Yikes, this guy is sharp. Nothing, only that I feel truly impressed. I thought just now, as expected from Veldora, your suggestion was very good. I panicked a bit trying to answer him. Yet Veldora's mood was immediately cheered up afterward. Right? My wisdom has finally come in handy, gah ha ha ha. He sure got fooled fast. Well, what about it, Ramirez? No problem. I can ask the spirits to change their residence. Without spirits that possess will, the challengers won't be able to activate spirit communication. Looks like there isn't any problem. Thanks to Veldora, we would have a chance against the spirit wielders. Then I'll be counting on you. It's great to have been able to exchange ideas like that. Indeed, you are correct, my wisdom. Yep, next one. Does anyone else want to give his suggestion? I can't have Veldora keep acting smug anymore. Let's get to the next person. The person who then raised his view was again, Masayuki. Isn't it the case that you can't get any items from defeating monsters? Monsters upon death would drop items. These are common occurrences in video games, but it would seem bizarre in real life. I figured it was enough that you could extract materials from defeated monsters. Will it be necessary? Veldora asked. To which Masayuki's answer was very simple. Not really, it's just that the healing potions are surprisingly expensive. High-ranking adventurers may have the spare cash to use them sparingly, but most average men won't bear to use them. Instead, they would choose to flee. Some people probably think that if you can be revived without a scratch inside the labyrinth, you might as well endure more defeats as opposed to spending the money buying potions. That's why we might as well have monsters drop some low-tier healing potions so that everyone can easily access them. But that's just my view. He had a point. Healing potions were among the list of things being promoted in our nation. People were gradually realizing their practical value. However, it wasn't exactly cheap, and the price had hindered the number of customers from growing any faster. In our nation, a lower healing potion would cost 4 silver coins, while a higher healing potion was sold for 35 silver coins. And regarding full healing potions, we weren't even selling them on the market. And even if we did, it would cost somewhere around 500 silver coins to 5 gold coins and more. The cost of living in our nation's cheapest inn, accounting solely for lodging, cost 3 silver coins. It cost 5 silver coins instead for included baths and a meal. The average income was around 15 silver coins. And even with a team to improve efficiency, it fell around 20 silver coins. This income was passable for now. It was sufficient to make a living with this money. But it may not be the case for any emergency situations. For instance, them falling sick or being severely wounded. They had no chance to experience a complete social welfare system. In addition, it was also important to maintain their weapons and armor. They'd need to replace them when they were broken. Low-rank adventurers had a hard time even hunting monsters. In order to improve their quality of life, they would have to train themselves to become better. It was quite challenging for these people to just pay 4 silver coins. After all, they also had to save up for the entry fee of the labyrinth. If they were to come across a treasure chest, they would become rich overnight. But still, I didn't think they really had the capacity to waste any of their savings. That is a common setting in video games. Masayuki had a point. However, all of the monsters in the labyrinth are spawned naturally. It's not that simple to have them all carry items. These people weren't my subjects anyway. There was no reason I should give them such convenience so easily. While I wished to help them, they should first try to survive on their own. After all, there was freedom association for such circumstances. They were not the citizens of this town, so I couldn't grant them aid in the name of the nation. Unfortunately, this was the reality. Who couldn't keep up was left behind. We probably can do it. As I was almost about to give up, Ramirez's carefree voice rang in my ears. You serious? Yeah, all we have to do is to feed the items to the newborn monsters. Assuming we could do that, it opened the door for all manner of possibilities. We could have treasure chests keeping all the good stuff, while the monsters would drop all the garbage. But even if it were garbage, to low-rank challengers, they would be a source of their income. This would, in fact, be a welcome change for low-rank challengers in the future. If you can work hard, you will be rewarded. Then there shouldn't be an issue. You will get rewards just by defeating monsters. Surely, the challengers would work even harder now. In this way, there could be more monster materials circulating the market. It may even become a specialty of our nation. If such a policy were not implemented quickly after the founding of a nation, it would seem very unfair to the people. Because of this possibility, we should enact it as soon as possible. The recognition of citizenship also posed a problem. The challengers of the labyrinth, traveling merchants, these people were all not citizens. They should try to register as citizens now to get their rights. At this time, the Tempest Federation was still developing. That's why we welcomed immigrants. But perhaps once our nation matured, we may even come down against immigration. People can't live on their own, that's why they form communal groups to help each other out. That's why we didn't want any parasites in this nation. When you possess citizenship to a nation, you are obligated to contribute to the nation. That was also why you get to enjoy the rights for serving the nation. Those who do not belong to any nation, they won't have to afford any duty and they can roam freely. I wasn't the one making the choice. It was up to the people visiting Tempest. If they were willing to submit their loyalty to Tempest, I welcomed them. Otherwise, they were guests. We wouldn't be able to provide the same welfare that the citizens received, that needed to be distinguished. It seemed that I need to discuss the matter in detail with Rigard. And things along those lines. For once I was actually pondering over things seriously. As I was in the midst of my thoughts, Masayuki wanted to speak to me. Is it true? If that's the case, we can actually mix in unidentified potions, or weapons and gear that have unknown effects. Shouldn't we do that so that people won't be able to identify which ones are the truly high-valued items? Oh yeah. We are in the middle of a meeting. I quickly considered Masayuki's words. I see. I get what he meant. Could it be? Are you making it so that they won't be able to use the items unless they appraise them at the counter? That's it. That said, most people probably won't drink unidentified potion anyway. Perhaps some people would. We can mix it with poison. It can be considered as a form of trap. It can be a good reminder for people to remember doing appraisal. Curse-type equipment could prove to be an interesting challenge, but magic weapons may also be interesting. They would probably think it's trash at first, but their true quality can only be revealed after appraisal. That's great. You can't even toss away random trash. You have to leave the labyrinth to do the appraisal. I began to discuss all these video game ideas with Masayuki. Most surprisingly, an idea that we can implement was forming. We began to get excited. Hearing our conversations, Ramirez and Veldora also got a giddy look on their faces. If you want them to hide their true forms, you can use my illusion magic. Gahahaha, I'm getting worked up just thinking about the troubled and confused looks on those challengers. Looks like I'm gonna have plenty of fun in the future. These two seemed highly motivated as well. Trash gear is gonna take up their valuable space, so you will have to go back to town to sell them. I somehow feel like sales of the return whistle are gonna take off. Murmiles expressed this practical view. Hearing his words, that did seem to be the case. It would certainly make people feel reluctant if they had to throw away unidentified weapons or armors. It would definitely trouble people who like to roam the labyrinth for good items once such an idea was put into practice. Every time they entered the labyrinth, it would also charge them an entry fee. The increase in the number of entries would also bring up the profit margin. After all, we wouldn't be the only one having fun now. Unidentified. How charming does that sound? Bearing the excitement of waiting for the result of the appraisal, that was quite fun in itself. Your brain's gonna explode out of excitement. What you thought was garbage turned out to be a treasure. In this way, even if it really were trash, people would still value it a lot. I didn't think we needed to put in too many big prizes. Instead, we could increase the drop rate of the low healing potions. That way, we could support the lower rank customers. We would need to adjust accordingly. I see, then it's about time we work in that direction. A patch update, right? Masayuki followed up. I shouldn't have said about time, I did just acknowledge his idea. With that being said, patch update was a great term. That's a nice way to put it. Ramirez nodded along, as if she understood everything that was happening. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. And if you guys have not watched the previous parts, then please watch them. The links are in the description. And don't forget to like, subscribe and press the bell icon for more updates.